What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going over the exact structure that you're going to need to scale your sports training business to 6 figures a year. If you don't know who I am, my name is Noah. I help sports training companies around the globe grow and scale their training companies, and I've scaled my own sports training, my soccer academy specifically, to 6 figures a year annually. So let's get right into it, guys. So we're talking about how to scale your sports training business to 6 figures a year. So there's really 2 things that go into that. It's very simple. One is your offer and one is your structure. Offer is essentially what you're offering up, what programs you're offering, price points, that kind of thing. Structure is how you're delivering, right? So group structure, camps and clinics, one-on-ones, that kind of thing. And we're going to go over both of those today, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to go over is structure. With the structure, where most sports training companies go wrong is they're very one-to-one basis, which I totally understand because you want to give an athlete way more individual attention. But ultimately, if you guys are wanting to scale to do 100, 200, 300 athletes, make hundreds of thousands of dollars in the process, you're not going to be able to do it based off of one-on-ones because the main point is the margin sucks, right? Because when you do one-on-ones and you're scaling at large, you're going to have to get into facilities. You're going to have to get into fields, right? And that's going to cost money, right? Let's say to get onto a field is $60 an hour, which is cheap, by the way. That's a cheap rental price, $60 an hour. Say you're charging $80 for the one-on-one, right? Now you're only making $20 if it's you. And then if you hire a coach, which is what you're going to have to do to scale, right? Then that coach comes in, you're paying them $20 an hour, and now you're not making any money. Right, so that is by far the number one thing when companies and people come to me is they're trying to scale, but they're mainly one-on-one. So you want to get rid of one-on-ones entirely, right? Now, I don't need to tell you guys that group work is the best way to do it. You guys should already know that, right? Now, there's really 3 forms of group work that you can go that is scalable, right? So you've got small groups. Right, it's anywhere from 4 to 6 players. This is what I love because it's still small to where you can give the athlete enough attention, but it's also big enough to where you can make really good margin and charge a lot. Then you've got big group trainings where it's a small group training of 6 players, but you have 18 players out there with 3 different coaches. So it's like small group, but now you've got multiple small groups within the same hour. This is where you want to be because when you make field rentals, you want to put as many paying customers out on that field as possible because that is generating the most amount of revenue. You don't want to be just sitting around and only put 6 people out there because, again, margins, you got to think of the math. Okay, so more players out there, the more money you're going to make. Now, in turns, it's harder to keep up with that quality, and quality control is the number one thing in this type of business, right, if you want to scale. So you have to figure out a way to build a coaching system that consistently brings results and being able to get results for players even though they're in bigger groups. And then the third one is camps. This is the one everybody loves, but this is also the one everyone depends on and gets excited about. Camps are great, but it's not something you should be depending on for your business. You should have a kick butt group session, big group sessions at that, and be totally full before even thinking about running camps. Okay, camps are just another way to add revenue, but you should be mainly focused on your business structure for your groups. Okay, so with the business structure, for you to scale to that next level, for you to scale to 6 figures a year, you're going to have to be doing groups in that golden zone, which is that big group session. Okay, so if you're doing one-on-ones, move away from that as soon as possible. Now, that just covers the structure, right? There's not much that goes into that, right? It's really simple, guys. It's just purely just getting into groups. Now, the second thing and the most important thing is your offer, okay? So you can have all the groups in the world, but if your offer sucks, you're not going to fill up, you're not going to be able to scale. Now, when I say offer, I don't mean just prices, how you're charging your prices, how you're collecting payment, what are you offering specifically in your offer? And we'll go through that here in a second. So with your offer, what I see the most, and when most coaches come to me is, they're doing the pay per session model, right? Pay per session, or maybe they're buying sessions, right? They're selling session packs of 4, 8, 12, and people think they're geniuses for doing that, but in reality, it's far from. It's actually very dumb. Not calling you dumb specifically, but it's not the way to scale, guys. It's just not. Right? The best way to scale by far is getting people on recurring subscriptions into your program. So what I mean by that is having an automated drafting system that will automatically draft money out of people's accounts to stay inside of your program. All right, to go back to where you guys are going wrong is you're doing pay per session, or let's say you're selling session packs. You're constantly having to go back and resell that every single time, one. And two, there's no expiration dates on the session packs itself. So people can go around and they can spend years to use all those sessions, right? And then you try to bring them in, oh no, we got more sessions, we're still gonna use them, right? And then that just delays you getting paid again. So what you need to do is if you're doing a session packs, I would do away from it entirely and go with the model that I'm just about to explain here in a second. But if you are doing session packs and you're hell-bent on it, I would recommend putting an expiration date on it. Regardless, you need a date and a time where they can't use it. So let's say you do 12 sessions that they buy, they should have a 3-month cutoff date. By the time they buy to the time in 3 months from now, that's their cutoff date to use all their sessions. So it forces them to use all their sessions and show up and actually train, right? Because that's better for the athlete anyway. And then in turn, you can resell them into your program. But that's the issue though, is you're constantly having to go sell yourself again and again. Where what my clients are doing and how they're becoming so wildly successful, and why I was so wildly successful with my soccer academy, was based off a recurring model. So we would do a monthly, 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month. Regardless, I'm getting people to commit in my offer for 3, 6, 12 months at a time. So when people sign on, I don't take per session deals. I don't even really take a month of training. I only allow them to commit to me for 3, 6, 12 months at a time. You and I both know players don't see results in a month. They see results in 1, 2 months. And then by second month, they start seeing things and it starts compounding. By month 3, they're kicking butt and they're taking off. But 1 month is not enough time to see results. So you guys wonder why clients are coming back after they're doing a month of training or a couple weeks of training. It's because they're not seeing results and they're like, oh, this doesn't work. But in reality, it does work. It's just your fault for setting it up like that. So what you need to do is you need to do a 3, 6, 12-month commitment. And what you'll do is you'll offer things within that package. Now you can do something super simple, right? 4 sessions a month, which is what I always recommend, for 3 months. Really simple. You can add training tees, you can add video stuff, video drills in there to raise the prices, but I'll leave that for another video on how to raise your prices. But regardless, you want to make your offer a 3, 6, 12-month commitment. And then you want to offer the upfront payment for that, right? So let's say I'm offering a 3, 6, and 12-month for group training, $500 upfront for the 3-month, $800 upfront for the 6-month, and we could say $1,400 for the yearly, for the 12-month. Right? What I'm going to do is when I go to close people and I get them on calls, which is what you should be doing, right? Getting on calls and selling yourself and selling your program. I'm telling them, hey, this is the upfront cost. It's a 3-month minimum commitment. This is how we're going to get you results here. This is what it costs upfront. Okay? When they hit me with price objection, they say, oh, that's too expensive, which is probably what most of you are thinking right now. Oh, that's too expensive. Or nobody's ever going to pay me upfront like that. Trust me. I've got dozens and dozens of coaches that I'm working with, all getting upfront 3, 6, 12-month payments. It only works though if you have a mindset shift and you say, I'm valuable. I'm a valuable person. What I offer is valuable. And that was ultimately, guys, is going to attract better athletes. And in the long run for scale, that's how you scale, is because you're keeping people in 3, 6, 12 months at a time on memberships that are recurring. So they sign up for 3 months, right? Let's say I close them for 3 months. They have 90 days in the program before it renews. And then I have a 30-day cancellation policy. So if they don't tell me within 30 days of their cancellation policy, they send me an email or something, then they're automatically renewed for another 3 months, right? All the major companies do it in the world. You should be doing it too. So you're keeping people in all the time. They have to reach out to you to cancel, right? Instead of you having to go to them to resell yourself, okay? But that's going to allow you to scale and ultimately stack recurring memberships over and over again, and then you're just creating a large pile of money that's constantly flowing in on monthly recurring revenue. Okay, so that's everything for the video, guys. So 2 things: you want your offer and your structure. You have those 2 things dialed, you're going to be able to scale to 6 figures a year plus. So that's everything for today's video. I hope you guys got a ton of value out of it. If you are looking for one-on-one mentorship to try and grow your sports training business, then hit the link below in my description. Go book in a call with me. We'll jump on a call, see if we can change your life, see if we can make your business better, and ultimately grow your business and scale it. Right? But that's everything for today's video, guys. Comment, subscribe, whatever you guys gotta do, whatever buttons you gotta do. I vastly appreciate the support and absolutely love you guys to death, and gonna be putting out as much content as possible to hopefully raise awareness and make this world a better place for sports coaches. All right, guys, that's everything. Go make some money. Go make some changes to your business. Peace.